Okay, I think I'm live. Just waiting for a visual confirmation on my YouTube studio. There it is. Okay. All right, guys. So I was going through all my mail flyer, whatever. Now I actually just want to deal with my ballot. I want to vote. I want to fill out my ballot now with you guys so that you can get a sense of how I'm thinking about this, and maybe you want to vote along. Election day is tomorrow in California, and it's a little confusing. Like, is my vote going to be counted? Are votes that shouldn't be counted, will they be counted? Is it better to vote in person? Should I drop this off tomorrow? Should I drop it off today? In the past in California, I've dropped it off on election day, and then I see the results streaming in already, and it's like there's no way my ballot was even opened. But yeah, let's ignore for now the the problems and potential conspiracies involved with voting, and just approach this straightforwardly as if it's all above board and good to go. So I'm looking at my official ballot. I've had to sift through a lot of mail and information and extraneous stuff to get to this point, and I can really sympathize with people that just don't want to bother with this at all. It's totally valid. I'm relatively informed as a citizen and as a voter, and I know how to kind of think about this stuff. But even for me, for this mayoral race, I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I still want to give some attention to the other candidates. Basically, there's three candidates to consider voting for. There's the establishment Democrat in office, the incumbent, Mayor Bass. I will not be voting for her. In my opinion, she represents. I'm going to try not to use this word because I don't really care about what people represent. That's not the point of politics to me. It's just representing things. To me, it's about doing things and having good policy in place and leading the various departments so that California is the great place we kind of imagine it being, and not this kind of sad embarrassment that is currently being made fun of. So I think Karen Bass epitomizes this Democratic Party's corruption. I think that the Democrats have become corrupt statewide. That's it. I've voted Democrat a lot in my life. I voted left of Democrats also a lot in my life. I voted right of Democrats a few times now. Most recently, the last mayoral election, I voted against Karen Bass. I voted for that developer guy. And this was a secret. It was taboo to bring this up. And my girlfriend was do not tell anybody that you would vote for him. Because in her kind of neck of the woods, in her world, which is the political managerial class of young affluent women, it's anathema to consider voting for anyone but a Democrat. And maybe you could vote left of the Democrats, like Nithya Raman. And maybe I should. There are some things I've heard about Nithya Raman that are appealing. She's definitely a transit enthusiast, and she's an urban planner. That's the first thing that's mentioned here in her overview, urban planner. And I respect that a lot. Activism, less so. She's a member of the Democrats, but she's also a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, which I don't think is good, honestly. I don't know why people still think that's cool. It's not cool to be a socialist. Some socialism in a mixed economy does make sense. I think that the state should be involved in I think certain programs should be socialized, which is to say that the government should have a strong amount of coercion in how things are operated. I would love to see sports socialized. I think the LA Dodgers and the LA Lakers sports teams, those could be socialized. I don't need that to go to private interests per se, but I also don't need them to be socialized if they're running well. A lot of sports franchises are not being run well, but LA is fortunate to have a benevolent billionaire in charge. But yeah, like I'm for public transit. That takes a lot of socialism to get happening. But I don't think it's cool to be part of the DSA. I mean, let's just look at what the DSA stands for. As in, what's their platform? Do I see any Angelinos? I know that my assembly person, or my city council person rather, is a DSA member, and I dislike him. Let's just see what they actually say.
The last 2 years have been rough. We've been hit with crisis after crisis, and everywhere working class people are being pushed out of politics. Right at the moment that we need to fight like hell. The bosses and billionaires and their politicians and police are sacrificing us during this pandemic. It's no wonder we are exhausted and struggle to organize.
Are they talking about the COVID pandemic as if it's current? I wouldn't be surprised. It sounds like it. Or is this just not updated?
But we are finding a way. We've seen huge electoral victories.
Like, I should not be seeing masks anymore. The fact that that's like one of my major takeaways 30 seconds in, to me that's a problem. And to me that does signify what the DSA is about. I mean, there's like a hilarious video maybe I should show. Well, let's let this finish.
And labor organizing from coast to coast, including major union wins in Starbucks stores from Buffalo to Seattle. Workers everywhere are rising up, and DSA chapters and members are returning to face-to-face meetings, rallies, and canvasses. As working class people, we're fed up. As socialists, we know the answer is class struggle. No force in history is stronger than the working class taking collective action. Let's brush ourselves off and move forward together. Serious politics begins with organizing and mass movements. There are no shortcuts to building power.
It's all about power.
Join us to rebuild, re-energize, and recommit to building working class power with DSA.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there that I like. I mean, I think empowering normal people is a good thing. I don't think that most of the DSA is working class. I think most of the DSA are privileged people that have luxury beliefs. Zoran Mamdani is not working class. He's a rich kid. Most DSA people I know are very highly educated. That's not working class. So the joke I wanted to show you, socialist meeting point of order.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Okay, is there a speaker against name, chapter, pronoun?
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay.
Quick point of privilege once again. Hi, James Jackson, Sacramento DSA, he, him. I have already asked people to be mindful of the chatter of their comrades who are sensitive to sensory overload, and that goes double for the heckling and the hissing. It is also triggering to my anxiety. Like, the be comradely isn't just for, like, let's keep things civil or whatever. It's so that people aren't gonna get triggered and so that it doesn't affect their performance as a delegate, okay? Your need to express yourself is important, but your need to express yourself should not trump or
I see that no one's clapping for me. It could be because I'm not engaging, but it also is because everyone's doing this. And that's really important because those loud bursts of noise, even though this is a noisy space, when we can do something like reducing that, that's really important. So please don't clap, shoot up these. We have a lot of disabled comrades and...
All right, you get the idea. I think it's... I personally don't trust anybody to run or govern civilization when these are the issues that are like becoming prominent. That's how I feel about it. I mean, this is just a joke. It's a joke to me. So yeah, abolishing ICE is a big thing. I don't care about that topic. No war with Iran. I don't care about that topic. When I say I don't care about that topic, like I know Iranians that are in extreme favor of taking out the Ayatollah and a regime change. I see a lot of evidence of them cheering in the streets. And I think this no war attitude is just an anti-imperialism, anti-civilization attitude. Like the U.S. should have no business doing anything. I think that's where that comes from. I don't think it's deeper than that. And I disagree with that point of view. I'm not a hawk about war, and it's not that I hate Iran at all. I actually really want to go there. And maybe I could if the regime was changed and ousted. Same with Venezuela. Those aren't my pet causes. Abolish ICE, like, I don't know why this has become such a major topic for everybody. Like, I can understand if you care about this topic, if you are an illegal immigrant, for sure. If you are even just a legal immigrant that cares about immigration generally. But for average people, this should not be your topic. Like, it just feels like a self-hatred or an anti-civilization attitude to be like, yes, let everybody in. Why do we own? This isn't ours to own with. No one is illegal on stolen land. Like, this is just a white guilt attitude. I don't relate to that. So yeah, as a platform, I don't understand what socialism is trying to do. And I think it's really insidious that the Democratic Party of the USA is full of radical leftists. That's what these people are, radical leftists, Marxists. I think social Marxism is awful. I think identity politics are awful. So I don't have a natural affinity toward anyone that's associating with that, like Nithya Raman is. The Los Angeles left is at war with itself. That sounds about right. LA's lose primary. That might be fair to say as well. Hugo Soto Martinez is my city council rep, and I really dislike him. He's against homeless encampment sweeps. Like, my number one issue is homelessness, or rather vagrancy and open crime, open drug use, open loitering, open public intoxication, open indecency laws with exposure. Like, I see homeless guys, privates, their pants down, like, not every day. I don't leave my house every day, but like often. It's often the case. Like, even just sitting outside Erewhon with a friend, there's some like maniac yelling in some sort of breakdown, threatening everybody regularly. Like, every time I go to Erewhon, that's happening. So like, that's where my interests are, like how my life actually is, how my girlfriend feels, how my dog feels, how safe it might be to walk down the street. You know, I personally don't feel unsafe, but I'm like an able-bodied man. Why would I feel unsafe? But I have to like tune into my environment kind of like intensely sometimes, and I'd rather not have to do that all the time. I care about like a lot of leftist stuff too. Like, I do think that LA should have a much better public transit, and there should be less difficulty in pushing operations through. There's no like, yeah, the high-speed train, that would have been cool to have. Too bad we don't have it. Too bad so much money has been wasted on corrupt developments, apparently. Our public, like our local transit, our metro projects, like the people mover at the airport's still not done. That's insane. It should be done. We should have like an easy public transit route from the airport to downtown and to Hollywood. That doesn't really exist. The bus is kind of a pathetic version. So like, these are leftist causes, I think. Bike lanes I care about. So I would be happy to see that stuff flourish, and Nithya Raman has kind of made noise in that area. Let's see if I can like substantiate that claim. Maybe like, I know that like Nander and some other like YouTubers I follow in this urbanism space endorse people like Nithya Raman. I wonder if we should listen to...
Yeah, they're not homeless. They're
drug addicts.
Where is this facility going to be?
It's on beautiful federal land property.
Where, in LA County?
Well, when I'm mayor, I'll go meet with the federal government. I can't give you the exact address. I have concepts of a plan.
How is that a gotcha?
They will work with me to give me the land I need.
So you're going to move these 40,000 people somewhere, and you're going to have this facility up in, you said, how long?
Here's what you got to realize.
90 days?
Let me explain something. These 40,000 people are not from Los Angeles.
What are your plans for the over 40,000 homeless in Los Angeles?
This is not a good video. I don't know. Apparently she thinks it is because it's on her. It's on her Instagram. This is the first thing that comes up when I look for her policies. It's just a attack ad against Spencer Pratt. So I'm gonna vote for a Spencer Pratt, okay? And I'm like really like putting myself out there by saying that. I know that like any women I care about dating probably think it's like inexcusable that I would do that, and that to like most women, like my ex-girlfriend, like hate the idea of just some douchebag reality guy like Spencer Pratt being mayor, and they're like trying to portray him the way that Nithya Raman just did with this kind of spooky music and making it look like he's not knowing how to think. Like, I watched the debates of these guys, and he made by far the most sense of anybody on the topics that I care about. So yeah, I'm trying to give Nithya Raman the benefit of the doubt by hearing what she is gonna say. You know, so I can see here, like, look at all the people that I like and care about who are supporting Nithya Raman. Like, these are, like, a lot of my friends. And, like, if I go to, I mean, can I even search for Spencer Pratt? Of course I can, but let's see. Yeah, I wonder how many of these are curiosity follows and how many actually are like supportive of him. Kind of interesting, honestly. But maybe they like him because of his reality stuff. I don't know. Like, I don't know this guy at all until like yesterday. But he has sounded like the adult in the room, which is what I care about. I'm trying to find like his campaign thing. But my whole point, you know, I can't just sit here and show you the exact sound bites that convince me. But I guess I mean, suffice to say, I don't know what's what here, if these are like official things. I don't know why I'm on Instagram. Suffice to say, my point is that like Bill Maher is endorsing Spencer Pratt. That's kind of my point of view. If we're honest about like what's going on in this city, then we should want real change, like a real mix-up of the leadership and the accountability. And he just talks normal. He just like calls it like it is. There are naked drug addicts running around the city and no one cares. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, he's the only one that will just say that. But again, I'm trying to find something from Nithya Raman that's not just an attack ad here. More Instagram. I wonder why that is.
The center of the entertainment universe is to do everything we can to elect Nithya Raman the next mayor of Los Angeles.
Last week, Mayor Bass sat down with the Wrap and was asked a simple question. Why did it take 3 years to appoint a film liaison? Her answer was stunning. She said, and I'm quoting directly, "I could have made the appointment many, many months ago, but the industry was not ready. But the Grip, who lost his health insurance, was ready for a mayor who fights. The sound mixer struggling to make rent was ready. The set builder who packed up and left for Atlanta was ready. Hollywood was ready. City Hall just hasn't been acting. And while the mayor waited, 40,000 Angelinos lost their jobs. Shoot days have been cut in half. Television production has collapsed by 60%. Reality production, 53% in a single quarter. The mayor told the
I agree with her on all this. This is more valid criticism of Karen Bass. So if it was her versus Karen Bass, I would vote for her.
directly that problems have to come up before she addresses them. That's not leadership, that's reactive governing. And when she finally acted after years of decline, the response was a two-person film liaison office for the entertainment capital of the world.
Every TV show means 150 or so jobs.
So, for sure, all this is valid. That's good. But I want to hear her talk about, her actual plans.
Well, it was a shock for LA politics in the mayoral race. City Council member Nithya Raman is running against LA Mayor Karen Bass as she seeks re-election.
Considered an ally of Bass, Councilmember Raman made the unexpected announcement just hours before the filing deadline, and she's joining us now to discuss her campaign and what prompted her to make this decision. It was literally hours before the deadline.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for being here this morning. Mayor Bass supported you in your 2024 City Council re-election.
I have to say, I know YouTube is it's strongly male and possibly, I don't know if it's conservative. I don't have that experience, but I do find the comment sections of most videos to kind of be, I don't know, I guess I am part of this space. I don't make comments on these kind of videos usually, but I kind of expected that maybe she would have some supporters on YouTube, but it's definitely haters and people that are seeing through her BS. It's kind of interesting. I don't want to be in echo chambers, and so that's why I'm really pushing myself right now to understand Nithya Raman better and why she might deserve my vote.
Election bid. So what do you have to say to Bass supporters now that you're sitting in this seat?
Yeah, I think this role for me is really about serving the people of Los Angeles. And I supported Mayor Bass in her first election as well. I have a relationship of trust with her. But right now, I am here in Los Angeles talking about the future of this city. And I feel like what I hear from everyone is that we're moving in the wrong direction. And as we are looking ahead at this mayoral race, I feel like it's really important to have a conversation about what's wrong and how we can fix it, and how we can dream big for Los Angeles again.
So she said nothing there. She said nothing.
Bass and instead running yourself. What do you think of her tenure so far as our mayor?
I feel like over the last couple of years, a lot of the things that I care about the most, housing affordability, has gotten worse rather than better. And
housing affordability is a function of supply and demand. Housing is a market. And in Los Angeles, I do think that the government can help in this regard by removing the red tape and California has more restrictions on how to build things than anywhere ever, even compared to Europe. If you want to build a new house, it has to have solar on it. Maybe it has to have these huge pylons. If you're building near the beach, that's never been a thing before, and houses don't need them, but now you have to have them. You maybe need 3-pane windows for energy efficiency, which is insane because it's such a kind of perfect climate. You have to do all these things that make building very expensive. All these green technological revolutions are now written into code, and that makes building very untenable, especially if you're trying to build affordable housing. You cannot build affordable housing in ideal sought after locations. You cannot build affordable housing in the epicenter of culture and commerce. That is where people want to live. People are willing to pay a premium to live there. And you cannot expect everybody to live there. If you want to build housing, you have to make it easier to build, and you have to build on the outskirts, and you have to build up. And I support all of that. But for her to make that point, affordability is a function of wages stagnating versus profits mostly, this kind of graph, right? This is how I would describe the affordability problem in California. We're living in a time where labor is what's that word? Compensated the least versus profits, which are almost at a high. And I think that's largely where affordability is an issue, right? You used to be able to support a family like a 4-person family with one person's salary and buy a house like in the 80s. That changed, right? Like, that's the issue. So we're blaming what here? Like, I'm not sure, like, when people run on this issue of affordability, like, that is not the issue. Like, I know, like, I'm in a certain milieu of people. No one cares about that topic. Like, they accept that rent is going to be high if you want to live in Los Feliz, you know? If you want to live in a downtown loft, it's not going to be cheap, right? Like, that's just the way it is. If you want to live in Santa Monica on the beach, you're going to pay 4 times what I pay in Echo Park. That's just how it is. So I don't know of a single person that complains about affordability. Now, that's not to say it's not an issue. Obviously, it's an issue for working class people that are struggling. But then I have to counter with this idea, like, why do you think that your place central to the action in LA should be that affordable? Why do you even think that should be the case? I could see what you mean if you're going to talk about oil prices and milk and food and wage stagnation. Like, those things I could see you complaining about. But, like, your housing, like, there's already rent control. There's already caps on how much rent can go up. Like, there's strong laws in LA against that stuff. So I'm a little confused why people on the left lead with this point, and they even turn, like, the homelessness discussion into that point. I've done a whole video on that, breaking down the governor race, addressing that. Democrats just don't know how to talk about this issue, so it's, like, really infuriating to me.
And we're actually reducing the number of housing units that we're building on homelessness, on fire and emergency response.
Wait, so she just, like, combined all those things. Like, those are not all the same thing.
Feel like we're moving with less accountability and less urgency than we need to.
Now, that's valid. I mean, if she's pointing out the problems currently, I would agree with that.
On issues, just essential services.
But I have yet to hear her policy answers.
Street lights, street repair, street repaving. We are just not keeping the lights on, and we're not keeping our streets paved. And I think the thing that's overwhelming Los Angeles is the presence of ICE on our streets. Is our city doing enough to keep...
What? The presence of ICE on our streets is not an issue to everyday voters and everyday normal people. Like, there are activists that want to look cool and supportive of immigration. Fine. That's a privileged thing to be caring about. That definitely is not an issue in your life, if you're honest, unless you are an immigrant or illegal immigrant. People like me that care about that topic are just virtue signaling, in my opinion. And that's fine if you care about that topic. I mean, if that really is a big deal to you, that's fine. But that's not what's hurting this city. ICE did not come in and ruin LA. Far from it. Like, they were responding to the hell that LA has become in certain pockets. That's kind of the impetus that led Trump to send officers to LA. So for her to switch that and be like, yeah, ICE being here is the problem. No, that's not the problem.
Keep Angelenos safe. I feel like for so many Angelenos, the answer to all of these things is that the city is not doing enough. And
we can all agree on that. What are you going to do about it?
I think we could be doing more if we were making better decisions, if we were focusing on this moment with urgency and with a focus on the people and serving the
That's nothing. You're not saying anything.
People of Los Angeles.
So you think Bass has not done a good job in those areas?
I think that we could be doing so much better.
Well, you've called it a breaking point for the city. Are these all the reasons that you said that, or are there more?
No, I think these are the biggest ones that really come across into my office every single day, and I think that Angelenos are talking about as they're moving.
All right, we're not going to get it there.
We want to move now to Los Angeles, where more than a dozen candidates are challenging Mayor Karen Bass in next month's primary. While Bass is sitting with a lead in most polls, 2 candidates, Spencer Pratt and Nithya Raman, have gained ground in recent months.
I mean, look at this.
Earlier, I spoke with Raman.
I mean, like, again, I'm trying to, like, excuse the basis of a lot of these YouTube comments because maybe it's biased, but, like, it's hard to not be affected by what I'm seeing here. You know, calling her out for just moving here and not knowing who Vin Scully is. People in her district who are frustrated because of her. What quantifiable thing has she done to, like, in her time in office? She wants to release more criminals from jail with a mail-in ballot. Isn't she the one who rolled her eyes at her constituents and said, whatever? Isn't she the one who doesn't care about homeless encampments in her schools? Yeah.
About her race and her candidacy. Here's more of our conversation. You just got into the race earlier this year, and some polls show you trailing incumbent Mayor Karen Bass as well as reality star Spencer Pratt. What are you doing between now and the June primary to close the gap?
You know, LA has a top 2 primary system, and incumbents usually get into the runoff, which is what the polling is showing us here. What I'm trying to do is tell people about the state of the race. Spencer Pratt and I are neck and neck right now, and one of us will be in the runoff and will be on the ballot in November. And that race for the second spot comes down to me, who has a progressive vision for an affordable Los Angeles or a MAGA Republican.
Progressive vision and affordable Los Angeles are two different things. The progressive vision is DEI, trans activism, increasing government spending, maybe going to debt because it's trying not to raise taxes but only on the rich, chasing rich people out. Like, that has been the deal for a long time now. Like, this whole exodus of like Elon Musk and Joe Rogan and the like, that's because of progressive politics. You're not making it more affordable by taking away a lot of these kind of industrious types. I think like a lot of progressive politics these days is about the representation of abstract concepts like equity. That's not a real thing, in my opinion. Like, you can measure that in terms of demographics and like checking like race boxes and stuff, but like I don't see anything different on the streets. That's just like an abstract ideal to have things equitable. I don't see the streets being safer or newly paved. I don't see better infrastructure. You know, that's the stuff I care about. It's like real stuff, like infrastructure and probably like psych wards and drug rehabilitation centers. Like, that would be real. And I wouldn't really care who was running it as long as those things were happening. A real thing would be, for instance, keeping the reservoirs full, which Karen Bass failed to do, and hence all those fires. A real thing to do would be clearing the brush so that wildfires don't encroach right onto the city limits. And the environmentalists don't like that because they care more about brush and the life of a plant than they do about human beings. And that's like kind of the core of modern environmentalism. Like, environmental justice is basically anti-human. And I think a lot of progressive politics are essentially anti-human and more like pro-abstract qualities, like the earth or the environment as abstractly, you know? So like, I really don't trust that messaging. I know a lot of you guys do. Almost everybody I know will vote for her if they vote at all. And I'm just like wanting to see it. I'm still waiting for it.
Republican who's a conspiracy theorist, who has never held public office and has never shared any plans for how.
Okay, I've watched a lot more of Pratt stuff. I find it a lot more digestible and entertaining. He talks very normally. He talks to real things like actual policies, like the things I just mentioned about the fires. He lost his home in the Palisades fire. So he's like gone into this whole thing because of that. For her to just like write him off as a reality TV star, MAGA, no experience, like that's nothing. That's just name calling. He's officially not MAGA. He doesn't have an endorsement, doesn't want an endorsement. I've listened to him talk about his politics. It has nothing to do with MAGA.
How he's actually going to implement the change that he talks about. To me, that's the choice that's facing Los Angeles on June 2nd, and every vote is going to matter. That's the message that we're getting out to voters right now, and that is the message that is taking hold among many of the people that we're talking to.
Mayor Bass recently described Spencer Pratt's campaign as, quote, tapping into a general sense of anger that people have. Do you agree with that assessment?
I believe that there is a real sense of frustration in Los Angeles around the state of the city. That's what propelled me to get into the race. And I feel like if you don't address that frustration with real actions, if you don't demonstrate real change on the ground in the things that are driving.
she keeps saying nothing. Like, I'm waiting for her to convince me, because like I don't hate a lot of what she said. She just hasn't said anything substantive.
Turn to people like Spencer Pratt who are giving.
If you don't address people where they are, if you don't take care of actual people's needs, if we don't put this city in the right, you're just speaking politics. Like, you're not actually saying anything.
Is simply not being honest with you, and I want voters to be able to channel their frustrations into real change that I've demonstrated in my district.
You were once a key ally of the mayor, though. You even backed her re-election. So what changed for you, and do you believe your candidacy could split the vote and force a runoff?
You know, the mayor's polling was very low even before I got in.
All right, I'm not getting much. I wonder if I can.
NBC4 and Telemundo 52 present Decision 2026. Good evening, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson.
And I'm Michael Brownlee. It's essentially halftime of our debate doubleheader. Time to see how the mayoral candidates' comments landed.
And a look ahead as well to the gubernatorial debate coming up at 7 right here on NBC4 and Telemundo 52. We have live team coverage from the Skirball Culture Art Track.
Even though they were warned of summoning all other one out. Take a listen.
You're going to watch today as Mayor Bass and Spencer Pratt attack me because they want to run against each other in the general election.
Now, partly this is what I clicked on here is obviously it's spin, right? Like NBC LA, this channel here, has cut this specific section out to listen to. And I'm rolling my eyes just because, again, she's not saying anything. She's just like politicking, like, you know, oh, my candidates are going to tell you this, but don't believe, like, that's not telling me anything.
Each of them thinks. And
so I kind of blame NBCLA for clipping that. Like, why don't you cut to the parts where, but to be fair, I watched this entire debate for over an hour and she didn't say anything that I could walk away with thinking, oh, she's going to do that. She cares about that. I can't remember a single thing. Like, all I'm having in my mind is like, I know my buddy Matt, who's also like really into urbanism and public transit, he will vote for her because he thinks that she will be the biggest champion of like speeding up the process of the LA Metro service. I have even yet to see evidence of that specifically. I'm even looking for it. Whereas Spencer Pratt has like come out very clearly, like, homelessness is bullshit. We have to clean up the city right now. I will be the adult in the room to make sure of it because I care about moms and animal lovers, and I'm tired of these schizophrenic drug addicts running around. They need to be institutionalized by force. Like, that's what I want to hear. Like, that's real policy. That's addressing a real thing with a real answer. He's not necessarily laying out the ties he has with the developers who are gonna build a psych ward and that whole gotcha thing earlier from Instagram. Like, he's talking about building that out in the desert. Like, I'll just show you this map. So this is like my personal mapping project of like Southern California. Right now I have highlighted the county in blue and the cities in red, with the city of LA being this big one. And Spencer Pratt is talking about putting like psych wards out here in the desert, like Antelope Valley or toward like Barstow. And he's talking about working with the federal government. A lot of this land out here, like Death Valley, is federal. So you can build, and he was saying like, I'll get the federal support with Trump and everyone to build institutions out here where they could not bother anyone. That's the point. Like, why would you build a psych ward in downtown LA when downtown LA could be a vibrant cultural place where we're all walking around with our lattes and our, you know, and our dogs? Like, why would you put a psych ward there? Put it way out here in the middle of nowhere. That's his point. And she's like, oh, what? You don't know? You don't know where you're going to go? You think the federal, like, he has an actual idea. Now, again, he might not know literally how it's going to break down and work, but like, who does? I mean, that's the job, right? Once you start the job, then you start finding those people and connecting with the interests of like, okay, who's going to develop? How do we want to do this? That's the job. And I trust someone that at least speaks sensibly on that kind of talk. Like, at least lay out how you kind of see this going. And he has said so much more than I've seen her or Bass say.
That running against each other is what's going to help them win.
Mayor Bass and I are definitely not working together. I blame this person for burning my house and my parents' house and my town and all my neighbors down. I am not working with Mayor Bass. Second up, if I wanted to run against anybody, it would be the council member who is terrible. Mayor Bass has at least been a mayor for almost 4 years and has, as she talked about earlier, the unions, all the unions endorse Mayor Bass. You think it's easier to run against the incumbent mayor with all the unions or a random city council member who's been a failure for 6 years? I would much rather run against.
Now, I guess I'm just more of a bro than I think, because, like, that is... I like hearing that. Like, he doesn't sound, especially erudite. He's not, like, an academic who knows knows the details of every point he's making. As a reality star, which I don't even remember. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is as a reality star. But I don't care about that. I care about the fact that he's, like, born and raised in LA, way more than you can say for Nithya Raman. He cares about his city. He's a family guy. And he just speaks normal. Like, that's cool to me. I like that, and people are making these comparisons with him and Trump. The reality TV thing, the folksy normalcy thing. Yeah, it works. It's easy to relate to. People like it. Like, why would you not like that? Why do you want to just be given bullshit? Like, I've tried to listen to Nithya Raman many, many times, and I've yet to hear her say anything. And he just is, like, saying real things, calling it as it is.
Yeah, and that is just a part of the hour-long debate between the three candidates there. Mayor Bass did get to answer some questions as well, and I want to bring in Dustin Gardner here.
Okay, we don't need to see all that. Let's see if she says anything real here. Okay, same day.
Live now to NBC4's Lolita Lopez. She's with Councilwoman Nithya Raman. Lolita.
Yes, Carolyn, and we'll get right to it. Councilwoman kind of got fiery there for a little bit, and one of the things that we played right at the top of our show was sort of an exchange where you felt like you were being sort of pinpointed by the other two candidates. Just tell me about your feelings on that.
I think it was very clear to me that both Mayor Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt were attacking me because both of them want to face the other person in this general election.
So ridiculous.
Or a MAGA Republican.
Oh my God.
I just love the Los Angeles that is more affordable. We can do that.
How?
We have to really try. And I have a positive, proactive vision.
Tell us.
That really wants to change this city.
Tell us what
and
it is.
I think they know that if I were facing them in the general election, that positive.
All right. Should I give this media person a chance to challenge her on it?
Proactive, hopeful vision of Los Angeles wins every time. I believe in this city.
One of the things that both candidates did bring up, though, was your time as a council member and things just not happening in the way they should in terms of homelessness, affordable housing, and the like. How would that change if you were mayor?
In my district, we have made real strides. I've reduced tents and encampments in the district by 54% in just 3 years. Our district is cleaner, brighter. We provide service with a smile for all of our...
So, like, that's cool. Like, I would give her credit. What district does she represent? Is that hers? This is almost my district. I'm right here. Okay, so this is like a wealthy area. This is all wealthy. This is Mulholland Drive. This is Hollywood Hills. Here. The nice part of the valley. This is all Griffith Park. No one's there. So that's hers. Yeah, okay. So this idea of like cutting tents in half, or cutting the amount of tents by 50%, like on one hand, I'll give some credit to that if there are fewer tents, but like if there are any tents, it means that whatever you're doing is not addressing the fundamental problem. Like, for instance, Spencer Pratt probably wants to actually enforce the laws and criminalize sleeping on the street. He's said that verbatim. If you do that, you will see 0 tents because police will be going around enforcing law and not letting there be any tents. So when you cut it in half, you're not actually enforcing law or doing anything like that. You're doing something else. You might just be moving them around. You might be getting them into a shelter for a day and then they go somewhere else, or you might even be arresting them and putting them in jail. Who knows? So like it's unclear to me like what policies she's enacting that reduce tents. And it could literally just be people in those tents are just moving to a different part of town. That's highly likely what's happening. So I don't trust when someone says I've gotten it down by 50%. Mayor Bass says she's gotten it down by 17.5% citywide. So like, I think they're just moving them around the county. That's what I think right now.
Constituents, and we're proud to do it. That being said, the mayor is the executive of LA. She is the CEO of Los Angeles.
Like, I don't dislike this person, Nithya Raman. Like, she doesn't really grate on me the way that like Kamala Harris kind of did. You know, there are people that I really like. Ilhan Omar, I really cannot stand. I'm not like hating Nithya Raman on any of these levels. Like, she seems like somebody that like could be adept at working on the city, like maybe, but like she's not saying. I don't know what she believes, and I don't know. She's not saying it. So let's go to her website. Is that it, Nithya, for the city? Okay. Progressive, Democrat, like what do progressives stand for now? That's what I need to have answered. Affordability, like politicians have some agency there, but not a lot. Like cities are expensive to live in. Like poor people have a hard time living in any city around the, I mean, it's just like, you can't really do, like, that's just not a good premise. And I know it's a Marxist premise because it's all about class struggle, but it's hard for me to graph that onto actual things. Fix the city, fill the potholes, pave the roads, plant trees. That's all good. I like that. Like that infrastructurally, like that's a valid thing. And like literally everybody here will tell you that this is like a real thing to care about. So that's good. Like I'm for that platform point. So that's cool. And if she wins, I'll support her doing that. Protect Angelenos from ICE. You lost me. That's your number 2 thing? That's your number 2 thing in the city? Like, ICE was here for like 2 months. LA has been like going downhill for decades. Like, you're just, I mean, I don't know whose vote this is going for. The illegal immigrant vote or just like the virtue signaling leftist vote. Like, this is not a major problem in this city. ICE is gone. Like, this is not real. There are tons of illegal immigrants in this city. So your answer is to like, you want to make the city more affordable, but you want to flood the housing market with more people. And you think housing prices are going to go down? Like, it's like so counterintuitive, this kind of math that progressives have. Like, you want everyone to come to our sanctuary city, even if they're undocumented. You want us to pay for everything with our strong social safety net, which I'm on, by the way. Like, I take social benefits and I'm thankful for them. But you can't have infinite social benefits for the world. Like, it doesn't work like that. Harassing landlords. Like, okay. From unsafe streets. Vague. From fires and natural disasters. Fine. I'll make sure when you call 911 someone actually shows up, okay? And the pay-to-play politics that have dominated the city for decades. That's good. I mean, I think that the Democratic Party is corrupt. If she wants to frame herself as an outsider and lean toward the progressive DSA side of it, like, I would actually prefer that over the current democratic system because I just feel like it's been a failure up and down the state. Bring the jobs back. I'll make it easier to start and run a business. We'll revive small businesses, support restaurants and bar. How do you do that? Like, all of this is vague. The only like real thing, fixing the city, like, I have a feeling how you would do that, but it's still like not easy. Otherwise Karen Bass would also be doing it. So like, if that's your priority, like, lay it out how you're going to do it. Housing for all. This is not realistic. We must. You can just picture her saying that. We must build much more housing. triple annual housing construction. Yeah, again, there's like things to do in that regard. You could like delete a lot of the totally unessential bureaucracies. Like, you know, I own a home. I do things to it. And a lot of times it's just like, I'm not going to get a permit for that. Do you know how long I'll have to wait for that permit? Like 2 years to like, you know, add a door. Like, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're a developer, like there's a huge building on my corner, Mohawk and Sunset. It's just sitting there waiting for the permitting process to go through. It's been 6 months since they were working on it at all. Like, you could figure out a way to cut that red tape, as politicians like to say. No one's doing that. I don't know if Spencer Pratt can do that. But at least I know, like, the whole thing with conservatism, that, like, something that I've always valued about conservative politics that I think is still there, and I've never been a fan of conservative politics because it's been drawn out by, like, religious stuff, morality, shaming stuff. The Dems have taken over the morality shaming thing. Fiscal conservative stuff. Like, I don't actually care about any of that, but I do care about efficiency and small government. Like, I don't need a major big brother nanny state over my head about everything. I don't need an inspector to come out and tell me what kind of fence I'm allowed to have on my house. Like, that's totally unnecessary. And that's a lot of jobs. I guess that's good if you just want to give people cushy jobs. The USSR did that. But, like, to me, like, just get rid of all of that. We don't need all of that bloat in government, you know? So, if, like, to me, if you want more homes built, get out of the developer's way. That's it. What has she done? Increased housing by over 1,000 units. That's good. I'm fine with it. Streamlined affordable housing projects. Good. She should describe how. Created a single portal to search for affordable housing citywide, launching soon. Okay, she hasn't created it. Passed the Hollywood Community Plan update and the passage of the housing element to create new housing cases. It's also vague. Passed programmatic and expenditure plans for Measure ULA that will invest more than $1 billion to fund support for affordable housing. That reeks of bureaucracy right there. Ending homelessness. This is the topic I care most about. Every time we see one of our neighbors living and dying on the streets, yeah, they're our neighbors, we should be shocked. Instead, in LA, it's become routine. The desensitization is a moral failing and a stain on any leadership that would call itself progressive. Who cares if it's progressive? I think that progressives are too obsessed with this, like, identity of being progressive. Like, this is something that I've really eschewed lately, the last decade of my life. I'm not a progressive. I don't identify as conservative either. But, like, it's all about this purity testing. I'm a progressive. I would never stand for that. You guys do. You must not be progressive. Who cares? Who cares if you're progressive or not? Like, if you're desensitized to homelessness, that's not good, for sure. Angelenos have voted 3 times in the last decade to tax themselves to respond to our city's most serious problem with housing, services, and care. But City Hall has not done nearly enough with its investment. True, I agree with that. LA is spending hundreds of millions on homelessness every year, but we have not applied the rigor or accountability. 40% of people moved indoors have returned to the streets. Exactly. By failing to use our dollars, staffing, and infrastructure as efficiently as possible, we are failing the people. Yeah, all that's true. What we've done, led efforts in our district that produce some of the led efforts. This is like when you and I are writing our resume. Oh, how should I describe what I did? Oh, you led efforts. What is this? LinkedIn created the Bureau of Homelessness Oversight. That is the waste of money. That is the bureaucracy and bloat. Oh, let's just create jobs with all this extra tax money, and now somebody is gonna, like, do nothing about it. They're gonna, like, sit in an office doing nothing. Yeah, you created the Bureau to make things more accountable, and yet there's still no accountability. So why are you taking credit for that if there's still no accountability? created performance data on city investments for the first time, and used it to drive real results. City-funded shelter beds were more occupied. Okay, all new permanent supportive housing is now over 90% occupancy. Okay, that sounds okay. Created the first homelessness team at City Hall to provide consistent case management and get unhoused residents indoors quickly. Unhoused residents. This is such like political language. It really irks me. Like, I'm tired of this PC language. So like, to me, like, if you talk like that, you care more about sounding like that than you do about doing something. That's my current belief. That's my current suspicion, that people that talk in these terms aren't super concerned about doing something about it. And like, it stands to reason. Like, she cares just as much about getting ICE out and getting more immigrants in. Like, we have a housing crisis in your own terms, and you want more people flooding in here that are bringing nothing else to the table. Let's compare this to Spencer Pratt's website. Okay. Not a politician. I'm a husband and father who watched my home burn because the system failed us. Good sentence. Clear. We don't need more government programs. We need more common sense, accountability, and a mayor that shows up for everyone. Good. Media entrepreneur. I mean, so I just listened to him on Bill Maher's podcast, and I did learn that the thing that he was on, was it The Hills? He was actually the executive producer. He wasn't just like a reality guy that was brought in by other producers to be an actor. He was the producer that sold the idea. So it is kind of more accurate. I mean, he's obviously, I mean, that sounds like LinkedIn too, right? Calling myself a media entrepreneur when I was like the guy on that show. But it actually, I mean, now that I've heard him talk it through all the way, because I didn't watch that show, it makes sense. Spencer first rose to international prominence as the architect of modern reality television, serving as a central figure on MTV's iconic series The Hills. And he like leaned into that douchebag attitude because he was told accurately that it would increase ratings if he was like the bad guy. The issues. There's a lot of text. Let's click on this, the issues thing. Oh, this is the issues. Okay. Spencer believes effective crisis leadership requires decisive action, operational discipline, and a commitment to protecting lives and property, not photo ops or bureaucratic delays and excuses. When LA faces natural disasters, residents need a mayor who acts, not one who punts decisive action by forming just another advisory committee. This is not his voice. Maybe it is. It reads a little AI to me, like very classic essay style, but at least it's like a little legible. Public safety and the rule of law. Where are we? LA's public safety crisis is the result of political decisions that have undermined basic law enforcement and drained staffing levels. Spencer believes the first responsibility of city government is to keep people safe. He will reject extreme defund style politics, right? Because, yeah, Nithya Raman is a defund the police kind of person. Prioritize frontline policing over admin excess and ensure the city can recruit and retain. It's easy. I mean, he's not saying anything that interesting, but like he's not saying anything wrong either. And he's like, I mean, people care about that. Like most people will say that the government's number one job is to keep people safe. It's a valid position to have. It's normal. Here we go, homelessness. LA does not have a homelessness crisis because taxpayers spent too little. We have one because billions of dollars, typo, we've spent have gone towards waste and doing the wrong things. For years, the homelessness industrial complex has prioritized process over outcomes. Yes. Warehousing over treatment and press releases over results. Spencer will dismantle that system and replace it with a treatment-led recovery. Yeah. So I've seen him talking on this. Like, this website kind of it leaves me wanting. But when he actually speaks, he just sounds normal and says real things.
A former reality television star is making waves on the West Coast. The world was introduced to Spencer Pratt on The Hills some 20 years ago. But his new reality is his campaign to become the next leader of Los Angeles. And he's gaining traction. CBS News correspondent Adam Yamaguchi exclusively interviewed Pratt and has more on his mayoral ambitions.
This is your home.
This is my forward operating base.
On a hillside in the Pacific Palisades, Spencer Pratt lost his home to the devastating wildfires last year.
I didn't want to run for mayor, but I had to step up so that my sons one day can come back to, we're standing in their former bedroom, come back here and live in the LA that I lived in. Beautiful, safe. I'm standing in what happened because of failed politicians.
My answer is no.
Sweet. My answer is get out of my car. Pratt first made a name for himself as the resident villain on MTV's hit show, The Hills.
I got a sister crying in my face, doing drama. He yelled at me.
But the 42-year-old...
I've never seen these clips before. I mean, I guess it's like in the interest of media companies like CBS to like play up the angle that's where he comes from, because it's like it's innately fascinating to people. I don't care about it. I don't care about it one way or the other. It doesn't like persuade me for or against somebody if they like did something like that before. It's irrelevant to me. Like, I would run for office, right? If I had like the executive functioning skills and the connections and the money to do so, I feel like I could also be the adult in the room with a general philosophy of how to like run a thing, like a city. And if I did that, people would be hating on me for no experience, and they'd be digging up like my fine art and maybe my podcasts and maybe make fun of it, right? Like this guy who like knows how to take pictures of clouds thinks he's going to be able to run LA. Like, it has nothing to do with the other, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what else I've done in my life. What matters is what I'm saying I want to do for the city, you know? And I feel like he's succeeded to me as like a person, as a voter. That has reached me.
Year-old former reality star who has no political experience is now a main character in the Los Angeles mayoral race.
Why should voters believe that you, who don't have any experience in that realm, can actually be the solution?
I mean,
this guy needs to put a hat on. Like, this is why so many people in LA wear hats.
I have the experience, but I have the common sense to say, this is not working. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are.
The race for LA mayor.
On Wednesday, Pratt shared the stage with incumbent Mayor Karen Bass and Councilmember Nithya Raman.
I would say if you guys like want to,
competing
if you guys are in LA trying to figure out who to vote for, just watch this debate, literally.
Thoughts over public safety and homelessness.
For the first time, we've had a reduction of homelessness 2 years in a row because of policies that I have put in place.
Let's actually build out a real system that can get as many people indoors as possible.
These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth.
Melanie May.
Yes. I gotta listen to that again because I'm gonna do something very honest and vulnerable right now. Like, I find myself reacting negatively to both of those women as they were speaking, and then I have to like wonder if I'm being misogynistic, honestly. Like, it's like, wait, what puts me off so strongly about the way that they're talking? And then like my aunts and cousins would be like, oh yeah, America hates women, that's why Hillary Clinton lost. People hate women. And I'm an example of that, aren't I? Like, I actually would have voted for Hillary if I lived in the US. Like, she didn't bother me really. But I kind of get it that people found her to be a bitch. Like, I can see that point of view. But Hillary Clinton never turned me off the way Ilhan Omar turns me off. So I just want to like investigate myself and what bothers me so much with the woman saying this.
Nithya Raman with competing thoughts over public safety and homelessness.
For the first time, we've had a reduction of homelessness 2 years in a row.
For the first time, like, there's something in this attitude. I don't know what it is. Like, what is it that's bothering me about that? Like, the point she's making isn't a good point. I've already covered that. Like, you cannot point to some abstract figures where you've moved people into beds and then they've gotten out of them and back on the street. You can't use that as a basis for you having done something against the homelessness epidemic, because everyone that lives in the city knows that it's just as bad. If it went down 17%, it doesn't matter. It's bad. And the amount of crazy people I see has not gone down. So you can claim any small number you want. When you make your point like that, for the first time, this number has gone down. Like, it sounds like that to me. And it's like really like defensive and like argumentative.
Because of policies that I have put in place.
Like, a part of it is the function of the space, right? Like, he also is guilty of this a little bit. They're all amped up, right? The bright lights are on them. They're under a time crunch. They're kind of stressed, right? They have a high cortisol level probably right now, all three of them. And it's understandable. Like, I wish, like, if I was up here, I would like to think that I could talk the way I'm talking right now. Like, I'm modulating my voice. I can pull back. I can slow down. I can make a point carefully. Like, I've reduced homelessness. Like, it's happened. It hasn't happened before. Now it did. Like, I feel like I would want to say it calmly, but of course, under those conditions, I would probably get all amped up also. And for some reason, I don't know if it's like a bro code thing, or maybe because I date women and it triggers something in me, and why it, like, for some reason the point he says, even though he's speaking louder, it doesn't bother me as much. Like, it's weird. And if that's what people mean by misogyny, maybe it's kind of valid, but it's not that I don't think a woman can lead or that I hate women. Let's keep going with it.
Let's actually build out a real system that can get as many people indoors as possible.
Okay, my only issue with that is that she didn't say anything. Build a real system? What system? Like, I hear 0 policy suggestions. Is it shelters first? Is it turnkey housing for people that are like qualifying for it? Is it what are we doing about the drugs and alcohol and mental illness? Like, use words like that, right? And I would again point to CBS News cutting it this way and leaving out those points, but they don't say those points. The Democrats never say actually what they want to do. That's why we keep perpetuating this problem versus what he says.
People do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth.
So that point is a real point to me. I don't know, like, am I just hearing it differently, or do you guys agree? Like, I've found myself saying that exact thing to people. You cannot offer, like Tom Steyer running for governor made this whole bullshit thing that I broke down in another video about like how he will make a urgent emergency housing thing and people will want to go there because you can bring your pets. No, people do not want to go into a government funded house where they cannot do drugs. They want to be free on the streets to do drugs freely and openly. That's what they want to do. So what are you going to do about it? You have to mandate institutionalization. The end. That's what you have to do. I've never heard a Democrat actually say that. They always skirt around it. No, they'll want to come in. No, they won't, Tom Steyer. They don't want to come in. Like, there are so many examples of like LA homelessness. I don't know what I should say firsthand. Like, they're like, I watch a lot of these videos. Like, I watch
the whole city of LA is now Skid Row. That's the reality.
Like, I watch videos like this where you actually just see homelessness people.
Do you have the receipts, Karen? If you got the receipts, you win. Ain't no receipts. As far as Spencer Pratt, he's absolutely correct.
Oh, you can't imagine the way that this cash feeling. Don't know what's harder, the first to the...
Hi, I'm Haley Gomez, and I am a California investigative reporter for the Daily Signal. This is vlog 5600.
So I've watched a lot of investigative journalism on this topic, and like I've just listened to a lot of homelessness people actually talk, and they're not waiting for the government to give them a home. They like being free to do drugs without consequence. That's what they like to do.
People don't like the camera. There's been a lot of call out of Bass and Nithya Raman.
1,500 people. When we do have this
1,500 people
up and running,
$400 million we spent on her program.
I have a lot of confidence
she has tried to fight on it.
It's 500 feet away from a school. You know, it just doesn't.
who are both running for Los Angeles mayor.
Election! Election! Election!
Along with Spencer Pratt. So Spencer Pratt is kind of the underdog in this whole race. He has called out a lot of issues that the city has, including the money that NGOs are profiting off of, the homelessness, the fires, all of it has kind of accumulated, and there is a real big following that he's gotten over the last, I would say, from February.
So this is like really ringing true. I'm getting kind of chills because it makes me excited that actually I think he's going to win right now in this exact second that I'm wondering about it. I think he'll win. He's not polling with a lead, but you know, in his interview with Bill Maher, when that topic came up, he's like, look, my supporters aren't answering these like phone calls of canvassers about who they're voting for. Like my supporters aren't doing that, you know, like they're avoiding that stuff, or like I don't trust these polls myself, you know. Like I do think, similar to Trump, I think it's going to be kind of like Trump's elections, where Democrats think that they have the lead because of their antiquated polling tactics, but in reality most people are probably like me and like most like moms who hate street crime and are actually going to vote for Spencer Pratt. They're just not like going out and telling everybody that they're going to do it, mainly because of also the social taboo of doing so. He's running as a Republican. He's not a Republican, but that's how he's running. When I say he's not a Republican, what I mean is that he's not part of the Republican Party agenda. He's like, I mean, the same way that Donald Trump's not a Republican. At this point, Donald Trump is, because he's held Republican office for so long that he is like the leader of the Republican Party. Spencer Pratt is not a political guy, from what I can tell, but he's like boned up on all these topics because his life was ruined from the fires. So like I'm getting a sense from like what this girl is saying, it's very true. It rings very true for me.
He announced his race in January on the anniversary of the Palisades fire, which really sparked, no pun intended, but it sparked his call out of the city and the politicians around here and the corruption that has been going on for years that no one essentially wants to address at this point.
Somebody say something.
Every time that I've come down on Skid Row, come down to talk to people, I've talked to people who've worked closely with homelessness issues.
Let's see if we get any homeless people.
As far as I'm concerned, the mayor's race, I don't think Mayor Bass deserves another term.
Do you have any thoughts on Nithya? I mean, she's obviously been around here, LA City Council.
Nithya Raman, where did she come from? How long has she lived in LA? I mean, I came from somewhere else, but I've been here, what, since 99, so about 26 years, right? So she has no qualifications to be talking about what needs to happen in the city of LA. Damn! Homelessness in Skid Row is no longer just Skid Row. There is no such thing as containment. You can't contain what the drug dealers don't want contained. The people that run Skid Row are not the nonprofits. It's not the city. It's not the LAPD. The people that run Skid Row are the drug dealers, are the gang members. And what they do is this is their regional distribution for drug sales. They don't want problems here. They hide behind the homeless in Skid Row. What people do, they come down here, they party, they buy their drugs, and they scatter all over the city. And it's going to continue to get worse until people confront that issue. No.
So there are so many videos like that. I mean, they're just some, like, if you just want to see what homelessness looks like, you can just easily find it, and you can actually like just find homeless people talking.
Deserve resources. This is somebody's son, mother, child, and if the city can do something to improve the quality of life of those folks, I think it is our responsibility to do so. We are just really excited that we were able to house folks on Will Street. Folks are already loaded on the bus. They have their belongings and are super excited to be able to begin their journey into permanent housing. Most vulnerable people of Los Angeles deserve resources. This is somebody's.
Whenever people overuse the word folks, it's progressive. Housing instead of home, like instead of. I mean, no one uses the word vagrancy. I don't know why not. It's vagrancy. That's what I call it. If that guy is getting people into homes, I'm not going to hate on it. That's great. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. That was like a promo.
Angeles, where more than 5,000 homeless people crowd the streets, tents line the sidewalks, addiction and mental illness run wild, and crime is at an all-time high. In Skid Row, survival is the only goal.
I've been coming to LA my entire life. I've never seen streets that look like this.
Today, I want to document the shocking reality in Skid Row, but also shine a light on these people's dignity, because homelessness is not exactly what you think it is. Skid Row is a 50-block area in downtown Los Angeles, holding one of the largest populations of homeless people in the United States. With over 5,000 residents living in encampments, many of them are addicted to drugs, but the lack of mental health services leaves many without the support they need, putting them in a cycle of adversity that is hard to break.
You want to put that guy in his own apartment, and you think that's going to solve the problem? Like, why would Democrats, like, it's the one thing that I want a big government for. It's the one thing that government can do with a lot of resources is build psych wards and drug rehabilitation clinics. And it's the one thing that the Democrats don't want to do. They want to they want to, like, get new offices for every NGO and every new bureaucracy. But they won't build those actual things. You'll talk about fixing the potholes and the street lights and everything, but you won't talk about building hospitals and like emergency centers. Why not? It's the one thing I want the government to do, to be big government, and it's the one thing that Democrats don't want to do. It's so weird to me.
I heard about one organization that provides food, medical care, and shelter to vulnerable people in Skid Row. It's called Midnight Mission, and I'm about to meet up with Dante and Heidi, two volunteers who were drawn to work here because they both know firsthand what it is like to be without a home.
Really, what our goal is to go out of business, right? If we can just get everybody housed and where they need to be, we could shut the doors. That would be the best thing.
Together, Dante and Heidi are...
That's cool. I'm happy for them. It's not quite what I want to be finding in terms of homeless people talking about being homeless. A lot of them are these long form things.
Well, I'm a good shooter. I like to shoot things. I feel like if everybody was asleep and I had a gun and I put everybody to sleep.
So tell me about yourself.
My name is Justin.
Okay.
And I just literally got off the bus. I came from Mexico, Tijuana, where I was living with my...
We're people too, though. You know what I mean? Like,
so you can give me a program, but I have to accept this program in order for it to work.
That's right. So that's also the major point that Democrats fail to understand. We're going to create these programs for build institutions and force people into them. The end. And Spencer Pratt is the only one that says stuff like that, and the Republicans running. And like, I'm actually appalled that I have to vote Republican. I don't want to vote Republican. I'm not a Republican. I've never voted Republican. It's not true. I voted Republican for New York mayor for Michael Bloomberg, who's also not a Republican. But like, that's what it's like, right? Like, Michael Bloomberg then ran for president as a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's not. But he ran in New York for mayor as a Republican when I lived there, like in 2012 or something. And he was a great mayor. He was a good mayor. Like, he did like leftist stuff too. Like, he like appointed this like really progressive czar or whatever you want to call it for like public like for bike lanes and public spaces. And like, while I lived in New York, it was like this like boon for like sitting outside and bike lanes. Like, it was huge, and it was under a Republican mayor that happened. That's what this is like. Spencer Pratt is not a Republican. You know what I mean? Even the guys running for governor, one of them is like a British guy, and the other one is the other one probably is a Republican. He's like a sheriff in the Inland Empire. But like, I voted for Michael Bloomberg even though he ran as a Republican, because I know that he wasn't really a Republican, and that his point was like to just be sensible. And he's like by far the best mayor in New York in my lifetime, probably. And he was a Republican. Like, but like, it's annoying for me that like the Democrats have dropped the ball so much on so many of these topics. It's like really annoying. Like, I've cared about homelessness ever since I was in New York. And in Berlin, it was also a huge problem. And now that I live in LA again, it's like, yeah, it's the number one problem I notice every day. And the Democrats have had all this time to figure it out, and they haven't. And they've just given this topic, this issue, to Republicans. Why? That's such a failing. It's pathetic.
Yeah, you seem hurt, man. Like, I don't know, something happened in Mexico that hurt.
Yeah, so that right
Let's
here,
get wrong right here.
that is literally what I see all the time. Like, this is LA. This is like, everyone in LA sees this all the time.
You seem hurt, man. Like, I don't know, something happened in...
If you visit LA, you will see that right there at some point over a week.
Places Skid Row, home to one of the largest
But it's not just Skid Row, it's Hollywood. It's like everywhere. Just drive down every major boulevard and you're going to see this. It's not just contained to that one bit. Anyway, that's enough of that. I want to spend a little more time talking about why I am favoring Spencer Pratt.
Melanie Mason is Politico's California bureau chief.
It's going to be a hard road to convince a very blue city like LA to take a chance on not only a novice politician, but somebody who has pretty much aligned himself with Donald Trump and with Republicans.
It seems that the odds are stacked against you.
Yeah, thankfully, all my supporters in Los Angeles are Democrats. I just want to fix our streets, get the lights on. I want people to feel safe.
They don't have to live in the mess they've created where you live.
Pratt is this creature of the modern media environment. He knows exactly how to grab attention online.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something?
But back in his trailer, Pratt says he's nothing but real.
You know, I always have been an authentic person. People know when I was a reality villain, I was doing it to get paid. It was strategic. I was working with the producers.
Are you being strategic now, or is this the authentic Spencer Pratt?
I am being very strategic to win and save LA. But no, there's no strategy when you're standing in an Airstream on your burnout town. You can't fake that. There's no bit to that.
Pratt told me that he's confident he'll hit the required 50% to win outright.
So I don't know why all right, Kobe. I guess I'm gonna stop. I was watching this the Bill Maher podcast, and I thought he was saying like good stuff about. I thought Spencer Pratt was saying a lot of good stuff. I've watched the debates. I've watched him interviewed on Joe Rogan, and I've watched him with Bill Maher. So obviously, like, I am coming from this kind of podcast bro space. But my point talking this out with you guys is just that I don't like him as a guy. I don't care about reality TV or the party label that people are under. The hypothesis is that so many people do care about that label. And so why would LA, such a blue place, nominate a red state guy? That's the logic. My guess is that fewer people will care about it. They might just do it more secretly than me. I'm doing it publicly because I want to demonstrate that it's okay to change over time. Like I don't adhere to the label of being on the left or being a Democrat. I adhere to my values of living in like a nice city where I can walk my dog and like, you know, have my coffee in a park and stuff like that. Like that's what I care about. So I've always thought that Democrats represent that more, and now it's turning out to not be the truth. So like I'm just gonna go with my lifestyle. I'm not like some rich guy tax evading, whatever. It's like I live in Echo Park. It's a mess. That's it. It's as simple as that. Like, if you live in a part of the city that's a mess, why would you not want to clean it up? Why would you not vote for people that want to clean it up? Like, I don't think of the homeless crazy people that tried to break into my house as my neighbors. Yeah, they are my neighbors. It's annoying that they're my neighbors. I'm not going to call them my neighbors. The people on the streets that are bussed in from other states and Mexico, they're not my unhoused neighbors. They are drug addicts committing crime. And it's not that I dehumanize or hate them. It's just like, isn't the government supposed to do something about that? Like, it shouldn't take a reality TV star to address that. But Karen Bass and people before her have not. That's the problem. The Democrats have dropped the ball on this. End of story. All right. I'm off track. I got to walk my dog. So, sorry I didn't get to my actual ballot, but that's my thoughts on LA Mayor. All right. Let me see if I can figure out how to end my stream here. It's so far behind, so how does that work if I click this? All right, until next time, guys. Ciao.